Okay, come in real close because here's the part no one tells you. Boundaries are not just about keeping other people out, they are also about keeping out the old version of you. Yes, you know the one who constantly settles for less, the one who is overgiving on demand just to be appreciated, the one who keeps her voice quiet just to keep the peace, the one who tolerates way more than her nerves have capacity for, and convinces herself that it's fine when in fact it was not. Yes, today we are reclaiming one of my favorite B words. And instantly in my mind, all I hear is, what's my favorite word? Oh my gosh, we just got started and already I digress. If you know, you know. But listen, we are not going to say it like short. I'm Letitia, and today we are reclaiming your boundaries, not as walls, not as ultimatums, but we are reclaiming boundaries as the woman you are becoming. Because boundaries is more than just about teaching people how to treat you. They are also teaching people about your new identity. Yes, boundaries are identity protection, and they tell you when you are in alignment with the best of who you are and when you are out of bounds. Yes, boundaries do play a very important role. They are like having your very own bouncer and security detail, okay? Because you are all that, honey, and we just can't be letting anybody up in the club. You know what I mean? Chris Brown said, "How you gonna hate from outside the club and you can't even get in?" Okay, I'm playing way too much. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's get back on track. Okay. Boundaries do help you decide who gets access and who doesn't, but they also tell you what's aligned and what no longer fits. And this is the part that doesn't get talked about very often. Boundaries are like your signals that tell you whether you are in or out of bounds with what is truly your highest self, your best self, the one that we're working towards becoming. And in the midst of that becoming, your boundaries are like the signals that are telling you, yes, green light, let's keep going here, because this is honoring who you're becoming. Or it's saying, flag on the play. This right here, we are regressing back to that old version, the version who was constantly overgiving, the one who settled for less on repeat, the one who didn't pay close enough attention to her own needs because she was catering to everyone else's needs. It's those types of things that your boundaries are really saying, hey, hello, time to take a pause here and let's decide to do something more in alignment with the best of who you are. Set When you don't set boundaries, you don't avoid conflict. You actually create internal chaos between the version of you that you used to be and the version that you are becoming. Because that old version of you, she was constantly settling for less. And listen, friend, I get it because I was there. I seen this so much during my dating season when I was dating desperately for over a decade. And I was constantly playing small when I was dating someone. And at first it'd be like, yes, I'm open to marriage. But as things progressed, it'd be like, you know what? I'm open to it. Or let's just see where this goes. And instead of me holding my boundaries firm, I'd be like, okay, all right, you know what? That's fair. Let's see where this goes. When that should have been my flag on the play to say, you know what? This isn't aligned. I'm dating towards marriage and you're just dating. There's a difference here. But because I had been on the dating journey for so long and I didn't want to just hit that restart button all over again, but really I should have been using that as a gauge to tell me if I should proceed with dating someone or not. Using your boundaries as your guardrails to tell you if you are really moving in alignment with what it is that you say you want. It came to that point in time when I finally started dating like a wife. God made me a wife, and that's how I started dating. And when I made that shift, I did not meet anyone who did not have the intention of getting married. It was like a night and day shift to the dates that I had been going on. And there really weren't even that many before I met my husband. But it just was such a huge testimony to me honoring my boundaries and owning what I truly desired, which was to be married. So, where do you find yourself in that moment of being caught in between the person who you really are no longer hurt anymore? You recognize when you're playing small or when you're not valuing who you really are. You are, settling for less or giving in where you already know that's not in alignment with where you really want to be, where you're really going. So, what is that moment for you? Where are you finding that your boundaries can actually reflect where it is that you're really trying to go? The big question you should be asking right now is, am I being loyal to who I was, or am I being loyal to who I'm becoming? Friend, that question, it cut me deep, Shrek. Cut me real deep. Over the top with the music and movie lines today. I'm sorry. Listen, we're just going to have some fun with this, okay? Working on ourselves, it can be fun. We can have some fun while we do the work, as we should, okay? Okay, let me get back on track. But here's the main character truth that I really want you to hold on to. Boundaries change when your identity changes. Because I get it, upholding boundaries is not always easy because we're afraid. We're afraid of rejection. We're afraid we're going to lose people. They may not like us or love us anymore. There is a lot of undercurrent of doubt and fear when it comes to shying away from upholding our boundaries. But when you shift from a place of, I'm not settling anymore because that's no longer me, I am now the version of myself who honors her needs and what she wants. Those are two different places to be standing in energy. And that's why it's so important to make that identity shift. It makes upholding your boundaries so much easier because now it's not about whether or not someone agrees or disagrees, because the right people, they will honor your boundaries and they'll even love you more for it. They're like, okay, like you could even be setting an example to them on how they can honor boundaries in their own life. So the right ones, they will stay. But what boundaries do is highlight patterns to you, patterns that you might have overlooked before when you were settling, when you were playing small, when you were hiding out in the shadows or putting yourself on the back burner. It is night and day when you make a decision and say, I'm now standing as the woman who honors herself. The key to your boundaries is asking, have I outgrown the version of me who didn't have any boundaries? Do a little check in with yourself and see. And remember, when you are doing your self reflection, no shade, no judgment, just kind awareness. All you have to do is bring awareness. This is not the time to judge yourself or shame yourself for being anything or not being something. This ain't the time for that. It is just about granting yourself some grace and having the awareness of what energy you were standing in when you were upholding your boundaries or not. Another way to look at boundaries is like a point of attraction because your boundaries, if they are really doing their job and you're honoring them, they will repel what is not meant for you and attract what is if we let them do their job. It's when we're out of alignment and we're not letting them do their thing that we end up regressing into that old version of ourselves. And it's going to happen sometimes because we're human and we don't always pick up on these things immediately whenever they happen. But that's where your awareness comes into play. And as soon as you notice, like, you know what? This isn't really aligned. Then it's time to say, you know what boundaries do I need to be upholding here? And again, it's not always about boundaries for other people as it is for you, because they may just be things that you need to honor within yourself. You need to shift within. But if we're really honoring our boundaries and allowing them to do their job, it really becomes a point of attraction. It begins to attract to you what it is that you really desire and repel the things that you don't. Just like in my old dating scenarios, when I truly honored my boundaries, it was a point to be like, you know what? This is not aligned. We do not want to go in the same direction. You want to go in that direction. You're looking for companionship. I'm looking for commitment. We're going in two different places. No harm, no foul. Great to have met you and keep it pushing. So, how are you utilizing your boundaries and really allowing them to do the work for you? Are they really showing that, yes, we are attracting more aligned relationships? We're attracting more peace into our life. It is really a point of attraction. And we have to be okay with allowing the things that are not for us to simply fall away. I know as humans, we are collectors. We love to collect things, we love to collect people. And once we get into a routine of things, we don't want anything to change. It's like, listen, we are finally on schedule. We have worked out all of the kinks and any of the little things that come up. We can handle that easily because now we're in a flow, we're in a rhythm. Let's stick to the program. Well, life as we know it was never meant to stay the same. Every year we get older. If you're a parent, your kids are going from grade to grade. They're not going to stay kindergartners forever. As much as we love them when they so little and they all cute and everything, but they're going to grow up. They don't stay in grade school forever. Life was built on seasons. The seasons change, the time of year changes. We are constantly dealing with change. And we have to be okay with allowing the things that no longer fit to fall away so that we can actually have room to welcome in all of the things that you desire. And that includes people, places, and things. And let me just also add this. Please be okay with being misunderstood. Not everyone will understand your boundaries. Not everyone is going to be on board with the new you. And that is okay, because one thing that we all have is free will. We all have free will to decide what will and what won't stay. So, just like you get to exercise your free will, everyone else does as well. But be okay with being misunderstood. Be okay with people not thinking that this new you is a vibe. It is completely okay to allow them to make a decision and a choice that best supports them, just as you are doing the same for you. And it doesn't mean that your boundaries are wrong. It will be uncomfortable in the beginning, as many things are. But you know what? We're meant to change, we're meant to grow, we're meant to evolve. And it is completely okay if someone decides not to continue along on this part of your journey. Wish them well. Thank them for the time and the connection that you had. Appreciate what you had. It was beautiful. And it supported you at a time in your life when it was needed. But be okay with carrying on, even if that means with or without some people or some things. There's always more to come in and support you in the new you that you're becoming. So, another check in: where are you over explaining? Where are you over giving? Where are you shying away from supporting your boundaries to keep someone in your life? Just a little check in. And just remember, you will know what your main character boundaries actually are. If it cost you your peace, it's way too expensive. If it means sacrificing even more and not moving in the direction that you want to go, it's a no. So, what are some of your non negotiables that you will no longer negotiate about? That's what your main character boundaries is all about. It's about having up those signals and guardrails that keep you in alignment with who it is that you're really working to become and achieve all of the amazing things that you are working towards achieving. So, yes, boundaries might be uncomfortable in the beginning. It might feel a little awkward, but over time, it gets easier. The more that you start to support yourself and recognize that you are supporting you in all of the dreams that you say that you want to achieve, whether it's expanding your career or growing your family or opening that business finally, whatever your goals are, and even just evolving as a woman. As long as you are supporting your goals, your dreams, and who you are striving to become, that's what it's all about. So use your boundaries as signals to let you know when you are in and out of bounds, when you are on and off track. And when you notice, no need to hate yourself about it. You're not tearing yourself down. You're not calling yourself names. You lovingly say, hey, babe, we noticed right here. Starting to slip back into the old version, but it's okay. We're going to course correct. From now on, this is what we're doing. The next right aligned step is this. That's all it takes, friend. Just pause, take a breath, and decide what the next best step is for you. And allow your boundaries to do the heavy lifting. Allow them to sift and sort to make sure that you are in alignment with the best of who you are and becoming. Okay, friend, I hope that you love this episode. If it has stirred something up in you, if you are ready to start making sure that your boundaries are really supporting you in the ways that you need, but you're like, girl, I have no clue how to start or what to say. No worries, I got you. Go ahead and download the Sacred No script. I made this just for you, and it really helps you set up your boundaries so that you're not over explaining, you're not abandoning yourself, and you are still using your boundaries to build the connections that you love and really want to nourish. Okay. It's right below in the description. Grab the link and get yours for free. And I can't wait to see you in the next episode. Make sure that you subscribe and come back because the next episode, we're talking about manifestation, but from an identity and alignment standpoint, so that you can actually be the woman who's attracting in everything that you desire. Ooh, it's going to be so good, friends. So make sure you're subscribed and come on back, and I'll see you tomorrow.